This is a McDonald's commercial from the 70s. The message was clear: eat your breakfast and get your day started. There is no reason to skip it because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm pretty sure you've heard that before. This idea first appeared in the Health magazine from 1917. You would expect a self-proclaimed science journal to back their claims with evidence, but hardly any was given. There is one detail that you might have missed. This magazine was edited by a man named John Kellogg. Yes, the same Kellogg as the cereal brand. John had created the recipe for the first ready-to-eat cereals, so it was very much in his interest to link breakfast to good health. John was a renowned physician who managed a high-end complex, the Battle Creek Sanatorium. Think of it as the Soho House of its time. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Mary Todd Lincoln were among its guests. They followed strict dietary rules like no meat, no alcohol, no tobacco, and definitely no sugar. Why no sugar? That's because John believed sugar could corrupt society by increasing sexual stimulation. Yes, really. No further explanation was given, but he was still Dr. John to his patients. So the blander the food, the better. His brother Will had different ideas. Will realized how much more marketable cereals could be for children. Colorful packaging, cartoon characters, toys in the box, and most importantly, sugar in the recipe. Will put all of this into practice, but not before a legal battle with his brother. John didn't want the Kellogg name associated with the sugary version. Will won the case, and just like that, the Kellogg we know today was born. Other cereal companies followed. They used the similar narratives, like it's quick to make and it improves performance. The healthy reputation was built on marketing, not science. Nowadays, we all know how baseless these narratives are. There's actually a study. Over 25,000 people answered questions about their eating habits. Some data suggested that breakfast skippers had higher chances of heart disease. But here's the problem. The study also showed that breakfast skippers were more likely to be smokers, drinkers, and overweight. So what is really causing the higher risk? Is it skipping breakfast or that entire lifestyle? The study never fully answers that. And the video promoting this study? Made by a cereal brand. The same brand that packs 29 grams of sugar into every 100 grams of their product. It was never about health. It was always an advert. The comments below the video were divided, but one stood out. Someone who said their first meal of the day is always at 3 p.m. That got me thinking. Eating multiple meals and snacking all day is a relatively new human habit. So what did our ancestors actually do? A day in the life of our prehistoric ancestor started at sunrise with a hunting journey. There is still a tribe today that lives this way, the Hadza of Tanzania. They are perhaps the closest living example of what life looked like 50,000 years ago. For Hadza hunters, there is no fixed meal time. The first meal depends entirely on the success of the hunt, which can take over 5 hours with little water. Their bodies are conditioned for it. Even after humans began farming and storing food, morning meals were still frowned upon. In ancient Rome, eating early was seen as a sign of weakness and gluttony. The common rule was you work first, then you eat. Food was a reward, not a ritual. Many respected figures throughout history fasted deliberately. Hippocrates said that eating when sick feeds the sickness. Benjamin Franklin called rest and fasting the best medicine. Mark Twain praised starvation over doctors. And Pythagoras is said to have fasted for 40 days to sharpen his mind. Fasting also appears in every major religion: Christianity, Islam, Judaism, each for spiritual reasons. Whether philosophical, medical, or religious, the pattern is clear. Highly regarded figures across history saw fasting as beneficial. In 2003, illusionist David Blaine stepped into a transparent plexiglass box over the River Thames. No food, just water, for 44 days. He lost over 25 kilograms and emerged gaunt but alive. So what actually happened inside his body? 1 hour after the last meal, the body is still digesting. Insulin is elevated, storing glucose as glycogen in the liver and muscles. Any excess becomes fat. Nothing unusual yet. 6 to 8 hours in, most food has been digested. The liver's glycogen becomes your primary energy source. Blood sugar dips, insulin begins to fall. This is when intermittent fasting starts to take effect. At 12 hours, liver glycogen is nearly depleted. The body shifts from sugar burning to fat burning, a state called lipolysis. Insulin drops significantly. Mental clarity often improves. This is what Pythagoras and Plutarch experienced. Your brain starts running on ketones derived from fat. At 20 hours, autophagy begins. This is the body built-in recycling system. It breaks down damaged cells, dysfunctional proteins, and worn-out mitochondria. Think of it like a spring cleaning at cellular level. It also stimulates antioxidant production and may protect against cancer and Alzheimer's. By day 3, something surprising happens. Hunger fades. The hunger hormone, ghrelin, drops after a few days without food. Ketone production peaks, giving the brain clean fuel. Many fasters report heightened focus, calm, and even mild euphoria. The immune system also begins to reboot. By day 44, David Blaine had lost 25 kilograms. His electrolytes were critically low, muscle mass had declined, and his heart rate slowed. He survived because he had medical supervision and water throughout. Do not try this at home. There is no official moment when breakfast was invented, but the trail leads back to medieval Europe, significantly the nobility. Their all-night feasts often ended at dawn. And what did they do with the leftovers? They ate them the next morning. Even then, breakfast was seen as shameful, a sign of indulgence. The lower classes associated morning eating with gluttony. Then the Industrial Revolution changed everything. Fixed working hours meant workers needed energy before leaving the house. Breakfast transitioned from guilty pleasure to practical necessity. And then came clever marketing. Cereal companies took that practically and turned into gospel. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But now we know that phrase wasn't built on science. It was built on leftovers, industrial shifts, and a little bit of sugar-coated storytelling.